as well as some valuable experience. Not to oversimplify, but here were our goals for audio.
Not to oversimplify! What?
I'm just going straight into it.
Hello? We're just going right into
Hello?
it.
Hello, we're here.
Is anyone there?
We're here.
Mom?
It's 420 somewhere in the world.
It's 420 somewhere. Thank you so much for tuning in to 420 stream.
The 420 stream.
This is the 420 stream. We're the 420 boys.
Suck my butt 420.
I'm 4.
I'm 2.
I'm 1000% amazing.
And we have not contracted any kind of virus except for the virus of good love. And we want to bring that and spread that to you.
Whoa.
Hey, Tobias. How
Did you
doing,
just
buddy?
put a good love into me? Your good love into me?
Is that
without
bad?
my-
Yeah.
I didn't agree
He
to
didn't-
it.
Yeah, that's
He
right.
didn't
That's
consent.
bad.
He didn't consent at all.
That's bad.
He didn't consent to that.
Oh,
at all.
Adam. Hello.
Everybody.
Thank you so much for tuning in.
Yo, has anybody else been home all day getting stoned and I'm not stoned? So I should do that?
Yeah, exactly.
So you're immediately mad.
Hey, can I
Yeah.
get stoned?
Yeah. I think
Yeah.
you should get stoned.
You definitely should.
How's everybody doing today? We are doing well, right?
Yeah.
How are you doing?
I mean, I haven't showered yet because it's not actual stream time.
We're not streaming yet. We're in our sweats.
I showered, you fucking dirtbag. I'm just kidding.
I said we're in our sweats, and when I said we, I mean you and me.
Yeah.
Ben C4 got ready for the stream. He actually is wearing even the correct
know.
merch.
He's set up. He's good to go.
So I like that. So
Yeah.
I also have. So we have the mouse today.
Yeah.
Instead of keyboards.
Yeah.
Or sorry, instead of keyboards. As if we ever play keyboard games. We play console games here. So we.
Dirty Mike, what are you going? What's going on?
I was 25.
I was promised 420.
Hey, Nerdy Mike, just to say, the big box behind the counter, those haven't been transferred yet.
Get to work.
Yeah.
Only the ones in front of the pocket.
I know he's calling you out on not being on time, but he called you at 4:20.
He did.
So
He did.
he knew he called.
So
you.
you're calling him out.
This is
double call
planned
it.
all
Yeah.
along.
We're just happy to be together with you guys,
Yeah.
and we're happy to be together because we know everybody is stuck at home and has to be on the internet.
Oh my God.
So we just we'll provide a place for that to happen.
Yeah, for
so
sure.
we love that. So we're gonna rock out just for a little bit though. We're not gonna do the full 6-hour stream yet. We're gonna
Yeah.
do that later today. We're
That's
just
the
gonna
same time,
at the
same
same
bad
time,
channel.
same bad place, same bad time. We're pressing to get how we smoke weed and play video games.
I'd like to. I'm just gonna start the talk. I'm sorry to
Love
ruin
it.
your press second.
Go for it.
Fuck you, PlayStation.
Yeah.
So that's what we came to talk about
yeah.
today.
So PlayStation had a pretty big announcement.
So we're not gonna play games today. We're gonna
No.
talk about them instead because PlayStation made that announcement.
Yeah.
So how was it really positioned to us though? Because we just heard it was gonna be a surprise drop.
I heard deep dive into
deep dive.
into the PlayStation 5.
That was it. So
And I was like, cool. So that's probably like maybe new
They
games.
didn't even say specs, because
Yeah.
specs would have had
Yeah.
us expect
yeah.
this.
No, exactly.
and so I told everybody that there's gonna be specs.
Yeah.
Jake, I canceled plans.
Yeah.
Like I literally canceled plans.
I know. Me too. And look where we are. Oh, bitch, I'm working. He is working.
And even at the idea, my plans were like, no, that's crazy. Okay.
Yeah. You
Yeah.
should
That
do
makes sense,
yeah,
man.
You should
Yeah.
do that.
So they.
Ace Platinum, how you doing?
Oh, Ace, what up? So PS5, they do a presentation. They bring out the guy who's like the director of technology and whatever.
Yeah.
This guy is okay. My
First
dudes.
impressions.
My dudes.
First impressions.
Well, he's not a first impression because I've seen him around before at other conferences and stuff.
He's been around in the Sony family for sure.
I don't pay
And-
attention. All new to me.
All new to this guy. So this guy just is very good at sucking the fun out of everything because he's having so much fun.
Yeah.
Like he's trying to tell us, he's trying to tell us about like what's gonna happen with this PS5 and why we should all, buy it.
Yeah.
And it's like there was absolutely no joy.
No.
In any of
It
that.
destroyed it for almost everyone.
Okay. So though I was bored and I kind of like the guy.
Oh, sure.
I love the guy, but
But
he's the biggest nerd in the universe.
And I thought he killed him.
Can we agree though that he's not a great public speaker for entertainment value.
Opposite.
For entertainment
I
Were you
value.
into
thinking to
entertained?
myself, I just think it's hilarious that I actually thought, like, wow, that's so much information. This guy probably practiced so much.
Yeah.
Like I remember giving him like a little nod for the job.
So while that is good, it
funny.
seemed like it seemed like a Kingdom Hearts tutorial. Like it
Yeah.
felt like they
Oh, yeah.
blasted us with a lot of information
Yeah.
and not a lot of fun. Like, so
Yeah.
there's so the Nintendo and
He
stuff,
was
they
reading
like
off
to,
a teleprompter anyway.
right. So like Nintendo is like they make Nintendo Direct for babies and investors alike.
I'm
So
gonna slink
sometimes
in
there's
there.
little fun stuff, but
Felt a little more like a pitch for No Man's Sky.
yeah.
No, but you know what I mean? Like ideas and the
Yeah.
things that are gonna
Yeah.
allow ideas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
Like-
for sure. It definitely had that like overly optimistic view because the idea was that, so if you haven't heard, they were dropping all of the specs.
Yes.
It wasn't actually the road to PS5. It wasn't a deep dive.
No.
It was just the specs.
No.
And that's like that hardcore nerdy shit.
No.
We half
Yeah.
knew based on patents what was gonna be in the machine.
Yeah, we had already kind of known, but they just kind of explained it.
Why?
The big whys and like why they had decided to use this and that, and for me it was very funny because it was just them essentially trying to say we did good, right, guys? We know it's not as good as the Xbox is,
I mentioned
Yeah.
this,
but but
before we
here's the reason why.
came live, but it also felt very much like a false first foot out
Yeah.
versus Xbox, where they're
Yeah.
like, "Hey, today's the big day,"
Yeah.
and Xbox probably this morning started calling everybody like,
Yeah.
"Hey,
Yeah.
yeah, we're doing the post at 4 today,"
Yeah.
They're definitely jockeying for position. That's definitely a thing that's happening.
and I wonder if like Xbox is still gonna like. Because they put the wheels in motion.
Yeah.
Like, do they make the announcement
Yeah.
and then Sony's gonna come and be like, "And we're the same price."
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, or $20 less.
Well,
I
yeah.
think they're gonna cut them under regardless, just because.
Sony can hold out longer, I think.
Yeah, they definitely can. They have the market share.
Uh-huh.
Because Xbox is gonna get to the point where they're like, "Okay, we're not gonna sell any of these if we don't tell them anything."
Yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah, because that's the thing, right? Everyone, to the layman. I mean, I'm an overly tech guy, but I was so fucking bored.
Yeah.
To the layman, it doesn't matter. You look at a couple things, and you go, "Oh, those numbers are bigger on the Xbox side," you know.
Yes.
And it doesn't really matter. It doesn't really compute because what really matters to the developers are like the architecture, how easy it is to make games, exclusives and shit like that.
So what they knew is that their numbers are gonna look almost exactly
Yeah.
the same,
Almost
and
exactly
then
the same,
so
yeah.
they knew those numbers would look the same. So they but when they explain them, they know that when they explain them, it's way better. So
Yeah.
they just go, well, why don't you explain it to everybody the exact way you explained it to me just now, bro? And he goes, I will. And then
Yeah.
he just did, and I
Yeah.
was bored out of my mind.
Yeah.
So if anyone wants to know what any of this stuff means,
Yeah.
you know, like he's like if you look and maybe repeat what he says, you know, like a little chunk at a time, because that's how you learn.
Yeah, totally,
Not-
totally.
Not being told, like, you know, being informed at the same presentation where you're being kind of told what's in it, and then trying to inform you about it is
Yeah.
like that's a lot of information at once.
Yeah,
And they really focused on like the SSD
yeah.
and wanted to tell you about
absolutely
what
I
that
was
gonna
screaming
look
at
like.
my monitor at about 15 minutes in.
Yeah, if anyone doesn't know, Logan knows very well what an SSD is.
Yeah, I built computers for like 10 years, so
Right, and so it kind of felt like
it was like baby talk, like
Right,
like it was like, okay, so this would allow for 0 load times and free map architecture.
yeah, exactly.
No, you would have watched this 8 years ago.
Yes. When I had first purchased my fucking SSD for
Yeah.
my computer, like a decade ago, I bet Game Awards season is when they drop big title reveals and what the thing looks like. I'm hoping. I really want to see what it looks like, because it's obviously going to be nothing like the V model prototype that's out there.
No, I don't think so at all. And I think actually if you saw the higher mentality post for us, Rispin
It
found
showed the prototype.
yeah. So Rispin from Higher Mentality found the prototype and just put that out there to kind of bring you in. And we're sorry, but that's the most up to date.
It is.
Oh, I think it's
Info.
legit. I think it's legit.
It's gonna look like an original Xbox, I guess.
In a flying V.
Exactly. So
So if it does, I'm out.
yeah,
There's no way.
There's no way. Like they always
Sony's all about that stuff.
I'm
like
just
their
committing
look.
to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm also committed. If it looks like that,
Oh, no.
I've bought every single PlayStation multiple times.
Yeah. I know you liked video games as a hobby, but have you birdwatched?
Yeah, no, I'll just figure something else out. Baking or whatever.
We'll pick something.
Yeah,
Like, we're in this together.
Yeah, croquet. Doesn't matter. I know nothing about anything, but I read that PS5 will need its own type of TV with a higher level image quality. True or not? I need to consult. No, that is very not true. It'll run on anything you have. The better quality TV, the more it can do, is essentially.
Yeah, so you
It
can't
will
lose.
be prepared for the new TV.
Exactly.
You can't lose out on the whole thing. You're just not getting the extra sparkle. But
Yeah.
you're getting the basics, and it's
Yeah.
gonna look amazing.
Yeah, and it'll load crazy fast.
And it'll load crazy fast.
Because the power that these things have
Yeah.
is insane. It's what they were talking about, all the teraflops and stuff.
So they're
which
also
we will get to.
So they're speaking about flops. They're speaking about flops, and they keep talking about the flops,
These
and that's
like-
why I'm calling them flops.
Are these like floppy disks?
These are like floppy disks.
the 50 million floppy disks in a graphic card.
Yeah, and
That's how they get the power.
yeah,
Oh.
and it's like, okay, so teraflops is like, so everyone is really stoked about teraflops
Yeah.
right now, and we can look up what teraflops mean for everyone in a second. But what they do at
Yeah.
least, I don't know what they stand
Power.
for or anything like that. So what they do at least is that they can help with processes that are like finding like ray tracing and like things that are usually meant for like graphic intensive algorithms that are like basically doing lots of computations and then showing you like an image, and it's like creating like models and triangles and shit. Like they're like dealing with a lot of information, so you get to pass the information to different things. And the flops is the way you can test its speed or power.
Speed or power, yeah.
And so like, okay, so what I've done here, so we've pulled up just here. I don't know if you can read completely inside of here, but you can see like they're talking about GPU. So they're talking about the graphics processing unit.
Yeah, so this is the side by side
From
which we were talking
IGN. We're
about,
stealing
yeah.
this from IGN here. And by stealing, I mean
they've stolen it from everybody
they've
else.
stolen it from
too.
everybody else. So, and we can look at the comments too, which is always fun.
That's always fun. Yeah.
So we're on Facebook here. You go, follow us on Facebook. Press X to get high.
Press X to get high.
Higher mentality. So what we were talking about before was that you'll see on the side by side is that a lot of the names look almost exactly the same.
Look at that, boy. Mobius, how you doing, buddy?
Oh, Mobius.
With the deep pull from the wiki there. Specifically, a teraflop refers to the
There it is.
capability of a processor to calculate 1 trillion floating point operations per second. Saying anything has 6 T-flops, for example, means that its processor setup is capable of handling 6 trillion floating point calculation every second on average.
That wasn't a bad, like, that was a good, like, narrator voice, like a good info voice, but it was also kind of a good Jacques impression.
Yeah, not bad.
Mobius tripping.
My dude.
That's awesome. So, like, okay, so we're seeing them talk about, like, these flops.
Yeah.
And also, by the way, I love to point in there, the trillion floating point thing doesn't really actually make sense with the flop. Like, they added the letters to...
I mean, I'm
Like
hard.
they added an O from nowhere, and like, I don't know. It's just,
Mobius goes, I mean, I'm hard right now.
I'm hard.
And MP goes, I'm deep into this.
Good. Well, I'm glad you're into it because this is,
Tag, what up, bro?
we've
my
heard
dude.
some, you hear announcements from all over the world of different things, and this is the one that we fucking care about.
Yeah.
We care about Dana Carvey putting on.
He did look a little bit like the turtle
He
Dana Carvey.
did. Oh my god!
Oh,
And we were
oh,
gonna pull up the
PlayStation,
video and
eh?
make fun of this guy in a
Yeah.
second, but this is the basically what they ended up doing in Point Farm. So you
Yeah.
can see all of that over there beside Logan. And so the Xbox One Series, Xbox One Series, Xbox Series One X,
X, Series X.
they already kind of talked about what they're gonna be using, and then everyone was kind of waiting for PlayStation 4 or PlayStation 5 to come out and say what they're gonna do. They came out and they said almost the exact same thing, just a little bit less, and
Yeah.
so they decided to spend a lot of time telling us about it,
Oh, like too much time.
and that is our thesis.
Yeah.
A lot of this stuff is the exact same.
Is the exact same.
Xbox apartment building is what they should have called it.
The Xbox, you're stuck in one of these.
Let's see if there's any good. Yeah, you're stuck in one. Let's see if there's any good comments up in here.
Come on, trolls.
High rise. I play a shitload of Xbox and I'm super hyped for this.
So I like.
Fuck you, Tony. You're a dick.
It was funny. One of the first comments I saw when I was going through was like, just in like a really like no caps or anything, just like, who buys Xbox? Question mark. I mean, it's true.
So okay, you haven't watched the cast. What should you know? The PS5. Good thing you asked because I'm gonna pull it up.
We're gonna jump right in.
Well, we're close to jumping right in. I gotta switch back to the other YouTube.
No, yeah,
link.
totally. Do your thing.
But to give them the rundown again.
Yeah, absolutely. So they're almost the exact same. The one thing I've noticed is that the PlayStation did variable frequency, which is an interesting thing, and it's probably smart because that means that it can kind of go, it can power up and it can power down depending on what you're running. So it's not going to run too hot all the time, which the Xbox didn't do. So it's going to give you full throttle all the time.
Loading screens are a thing of the past.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So they put in an SSD, and they talked way too fucking much about that.
So at one point, they love this. Oh, they love the loading screens. At one point, the guy said that loading screens could be sabotage to the flow of a game, so that sabotage to an otherwise good game was ruined by load screens
because of how you have to cover around load screens.
Right, and I fucking agree with him, but like that should just be standard. I'm glad that you upgraded the hard drive, but
that's his way of preparing us for the fact that they've remade the bad games too from the past.
Yes.
Yeah.
So they did talk about backwards compatibility, and they talked about how they could do that by either putting the chipset in or doing like emulations.
Yeah.
And so they're gonna do emulations. So then it's like the same thing as they did with PS4 to PS3. So there is gonna be backwards compatibility for some games, and they roll out as they go.
Yeah.
Which is just another way to like kind of like bring them back from the vault.
Yeah.
And make
I mean,
some money.
it's the same shit Xbox has been doing for years with the 360 and shit.
And so.
Hello, Nairu. How you doing?
Hello, Nairu. How you doing? I hope you'll
come.
come and visit us again tonight too, everybody.
We're doing that dive in on the PlayStation 5 announcements.
We're doing the deep dive.
Quick talk some shit about some shit.
Yeah, we're gonna pull up the
road to PS5.
Let's steal it from IGN again.
Yeah, sure.
We're high GN here. Okay, here we go.
Oh God, here we go.
So let's get it going here. We're gonna get some volume on the guys here. And hopefully this will be not terrible for you, as it was for me, because I had to watch this alone and it was boring. I think we all watched it alone.
I did.
Talk that we had planned for GDC.
So guys, get ready for about just a little bit of time. This is going to be a little bit of the most excitement you've ever had.
Thanks, Mobius.
Thank you so much.
The Road to PS5. What a title.
I know. Oh, it's Dana Carvey.
With how good Dana Carvey is at characters, it actually
that
could
might
be
be
Dana
him.
Carvey.
Yeah, like it literally might be him.
It's Garth from Wayne's World. It's the turtle guy from Master of the Skies.
They offered Dana Carvey like $2 million.
Yeah, they're just like, can you just like create a character
that character?
And I'm loving the Sony Vio that they put up there. Like,
I know.
Like he's not like no one uses the Sony Vio.
No, I haven't seen one in years.
And I don't think he does either. I bet he doesn't. I bet he has a Surface Pro actually, and he just
he definitely does.
And he just kind of hides that under his package. He's always like, I love my Vio.
He's literally a master of disguise.
He's literally a master of disguise. Dana Carvey is quite literally a master of disguise, and here he is.
He's gonna inform us. Turtle.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry, I'm interrupting him, but Master of Disguise is such a bad movie.
It's such a bad movie.
I rewatched it as a grown-up because as a kid, I thought it was fine. Whoa.
Yeah.
Like
no go.
Yeah, don't obviously do that.
That's a big no go.
Yeah.
That's a don't watch.
It's a good bad.
That's a don't watch. Okay. And I hope you guys are able to hear him. If you're not able to hear him, you let me know.
Seems pretty high.
I think you all know I'm a big believer in console generations. Once every 5 or 6 or 7 years, a console arrives with substantially new capabilities. There's a lot of learning by the game developers, hopefully not too overwhelming. And soon there's games
not too overwhelming. Guys, we just want to remember.
Not too overwhelming.
We just want to remember we want learning, but not overwhelming.
Yeah.
I just like to reiterate that point.
Touch louder on Garth.
Yeah.
We'll pop him.
Intuit what would be the best set of capabilities for the new console. and then build it in complete secrecy. For the PlayStation console,
Coming up.
that period lasted through PlayStation 3, a powerful and groundbreaking console, but also one that caused quite a lot of heartache, as it was initially difficult to develop games for.
So he said
So,
beautiful, and I
starting
turned it
with
up again, so I
PlayStation
put
4,
it back.
We've taken a different approach, roughly centered around 3 principles. The first
this
of
is-
these is listening to the developers, which is
Okay.
to say that a lot of what we put into a console
The one thing I liked about that, just a little bit more. Oh. Can we just?
we've taken a different approach,
I
roughly centered
I just
around
want to just look at finding new dreams.
Yeah.
I just want everyone to know. I just want everyone to know that at the beginning, we're gonna flash.
So 3 things.
Yeah. So the first part is gonna be boring, but don't worry because
Don't
at
worry
the
about it.
end
Don't even worry about it.
we're gonna have new dreams to find.
Yeah.
So okay, just that's all. That's all. Sorry guys.
The first of these is listening to the developers, which is to say that a lot of what we put into a console derives directly from the needs and aspirations of the game creators.
Oh,
We
God.
definitely do have some ideas of our own, but at
Why
the
does this man
core of
sound
our
like he's about to
philosophy
read
for
me a
designing
nursery rhyme
consoles
to put me to
is that
bed?
game
'Cause he
players
is.
are
He is.
here
He's
for
about
the
to do that.
It just doesn't rhyme.
which is to say that game creators matter. Anything we can do to make life easier for the game creators or help them realize their dreams, we will do.
Those guys
So,
don't move
about once
in
every
the
2
bottom there,
years,
and I thought
take
they
a
were
tour
like
of
like
the
a
industry.
kind of like
I go to the
side.
various developers and publishers. sit
Corona,
down
man.
and discuss
Coronavirus, no-
He's literally in a room by
and what they'd
himself.
like
No
to
mass
see
gatherings.
in
That's just the crew.
Yeah. Yeah.
This
it definitely
requires
is.
weeks on the road, as reaching the bulk of the game creators involves
So
talking
this
to
is
well
so
over
boring. This is
Yeah.
what we watched
Nobody
earlier.
cares about
dozen
this, too.
publishers and developers.
So this is for
And it
this
is
is a little bit more aimed for the stock boys.
By the
For
way,
sure.
the feature
Stockholder.
most requested by the developers, that was an SSD.
COVID
which we were very
standards for
happy
real.
to put in the hardware, but a lot of problem solving was required. I'll be doing a deep dive on the SSD and surrounding systems later on.
Yes.
in this
So the key word, deep dive. Nailed on the head. This is the key word. And also, like, you notice that he says, now we realize he says, deep dive on the SSD.
Yeah.
And the surrounding.
Yeah.
So basically what he's going to do is that the feature that was most asked for
Yeah,
by the
and
developers
and
he-
promised,
and
yeah.
he's and most promised to the developers, so he's going to explain it in detail. And basically what this is for is that it's not for us, this is for like stockholder people.
Yeah.
And they're saying that developers and console makers are now having a better relationship, and this is the architecture that makes it happen, and you're going to make more money and more sales.
Yeah.
And I don't think this was actually really made to be informational so much as like almost like just like wowing, like razzle dazzle.
Yeah.
You
Oh,
know, like a
totally.
confusing razzle dazzle.
yeah.
Sorry. Yeah.
No, yeah, you're on.
Yeah.
Kay, I need y'all's opinions though. Is Vio respected or not? Like
No,
the laptops?
I don't think so.
Yeah, they're like fine, but no one buys them. Like I haven't seen one in years.
So what I had to deal with when I was selling computers in like 2011 was like
That was kind of the height of the Vio.
the height of the Vio, and they like, and Spider-Man was coming out, and they had Vios and Spider-Man and stuff, so they tried to like push it and shit.
Yeah.
It was fucking whack. And but one of the things was that they had proprietary parts and like plugs and stuff, like
Yes.
Apple or something,
Yeah.
like them. And it's like, no, who the fuck do you think you are?
Yeah, that was a mistake.
Vio. Who cares? Sorry, guys. Xperia, Vio. Sorry, Sony. Just
yeah.
stick to PlayStation.
Yeah.
Anything else from before we keep
Nope.
going? Let's get this. We have an
also
hour of
key
this.
to
No,
make
we're skipping through it.
Yeah.
Well,
We're not
keeping the
skipping. We're not doing the
console
whole hour,
sufficiently
guys. We're
familiar with
spark
the game
notesing it, so don't
I
worry.
think about this in terms of balancing evolution and revolution. Now, with PlayStation 1, 2, and 3, the target was a revolution each time with a brand new feature set. That was great in many ways, but time for the developers to get up and running got longer with each console.
It's
In
a
the
college
past, I've
speech
called
to
this
me.
time to shine.
This is
Here's what I
valedictory.
have. for
Yeah,
the
like-
consoles.
We will.
To be clear,
go
I'm not
into
talking about
tomorrow
time to make a
with
game.
strength.
Developers will be ambitious, and it
And
may
all that
take them
we've
6
learned in our
years or so
time
to
here.
realize their vision. What I'm
Yeah.
talking about is that dead time before graphics
You're not
and
inspired?
other aspects of game development are up and running, and trying to minimize.
To go out and be the best you can be.
On the other hand, if we're trying
No,
to
those
reduce
people
that
aren't
dead time
real.
to zero,
MP's with me.
That means the
They
hardware
really
architecture
aren't
can't
moving.
change at all. We're handcuffed. We need to judge for each feature what value it adds and whether it's worth the increase in developer time needed to support it.
Yeah, great.
So with PlayStation 4,
Wow. So here's we start seeing some diagrams here.
Yeah.
That's what I'm looking
which
for.
is
I love
how
the
long it
diagrams.
takes to load a
No, I'm
gigabyte
not
of
expired
data
snake.
from
I'm
a
bored
hard
as
drive.
fuck.
The difficulty being
The best part
the
is you
hard
guys.
drives are really fast.
Okay, so this is fucking hilarious.
So this is where we're starting to get to numbers, and
it's
then
just explaining to you guys how a hard drive works.
and if you feel insulted by that,
I don't.
but okay, so here's a second question. You know what I mean? Like if you don't feel insulted by this, and you do need to know how a hard drive works, is this enough information?
No, it's not.
Hold on. I got a quick. Instead of giving us the rough PS4 specs, like, why don't you guys just give us the actual PS4 specs? Like, it's not like you guys
Do a
are,
couple
like,
tests.
figuring
Yeah.
it out,
Yeah.
or
Yeah, do a couple
I
tests.
don't know. It's roughly.
Don't you have a bunch of game data, console data that we've been uploading to the cloud, right? Haven't we been uploading our game data to the cloud?
For years. This is how I want to watch every tech release conference.
Okay, you got it. You watch it 1 second at a time, and we keep just like stopping it.
Yeah.
There you go.
With a bunch of weed and weedy boys and some technical
All
mansplaining
your
from the
data is in
president.
one
Yeah.
block, which is frankly not very likely. You can load 50 to 100 megabytes a second, depending on where the data is located on the hard drive. Let's assume it's on the outer edge, which means loading a gigabyte.
So here we go. This is going to be the whole. This
If
is
you
like the
compress your
infographic for.
data packages. You can fit more data on the Blu-ray
farthest
disc,
edge of
and
the
also
nipple
effectively
diagram,
boost
you'll
your
notice,
hard
and
drive
only on the right
I was
side.
thinking butthole diagram, but
It's kind of a butthole. It
Zero
is kind of a little butthole.
version 4, that gets you something like 50% more data on the disk and 50% higher. effective read speed.
To be a
Unfortunately, though, it's highly likely that your data is scattered around in various files on the hard
just
drive,
saying, not saying,
as
but
well
I'm
as
saying.
sourced from multiple locations within
Butthole
those
confirmed.
files.
Butthole
So
confirmed, yeah.
lots of seeks are needed at 2 to 50-ish milliseconds each. My rule of
We know
thumb
you've
is
been
that the
using
hard drive
computers
is
your
spending
entire life, but
2/3 of its
we're going to
time
explain how
peaking, and only
defragment
a
works.
third of its time actually
Yeah.
reading data.
Who is this for if it's not for people who know, right?
This is what
20
defragging is.
seconds to
I've
load.
defragged for years and never
Now,
needed to
Well,
know
it's,
what this
so what he
was.
was
You
talking
don't-
about with like
yeah.
Games are you-
bits and what he was talking about with like bits and pieces of your data all over the place, like defragging like puts it all in one area, so it's easier for it to find.
So you're taking your read speed and making it the most efficient,
Yeah.
because now it's all just in a row. It's just like, so now you don't have to be like turn to page 60.
Yeah.
Turn to page 45.
Yeah.
It's more like
1, 2, 3,
45,
4.
46,
Yeah,
47. And then that would be a really easy way to explain it, maybe in a graph.
Mm-hmm. No, butthole.
That's how I
Butthole.
was explained it when I was. It's great stuff. Is this a baby thing, or is it like, are we being babied along, or do we know what this stuff is, and that's
we
what we're
totally are.
being told? So
I want to see a fucking drum solo. Is that so much to ask?
I like to play.
I like to play drum. Holy shit, I forgot about defragging. Elon Musk puts a rock through a window for Tesla's new road toy, and we get Garth.
Yeah.
I agree. I agree.
We want the fun stuff. Sony's like, we're not going to do E3 this year,
Yeah.
and then they're like,
Instead
E3
we'll-
is canceled, and then Sony's like, oh well, don't worry, we have a small announcement to make, and it's gonna be all about the road to PS5. We're like, oh, we love PS5. Like, oh no, it won't be like the E3
Oh
thing.
no. Oh, that big fun thing? Oh
Yeah.
no, nothing like that.
You know what I thought was going to happen? Can I tell you what I thought was going to happen?
Yes, please
I
do.
thought they were being like, oh, everyone's home because of coronavirus. Let's give them something to
Let's give
hope
them a
for.
show.
And let's
Yeah.
fucking show. Let's do an E3.
Not even a show.
But,
I thought that he would at least have a fucking pedestal
Yeah.
with a goddamn
That's it.
machine on it.
I like an E3 level announcement with like the reveal of what it looks like.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that's what I thought was happening, and I got so disappointed.
Yeah.
And the team that rebuilt all the Spyro games for the remaster is doing the fourth one. Or like just
Something small, yeah, something to
Like-
give us, yeah.
So later on he
announce
will.
the fucking system.
Yeah.
Yeah, and later on he will mention games, and what games he mentions?
Yeah.
He mentions Marvel Spider-Man.
Yeah.
For some reason, they are stuck on telling
on the
us-
loading with the Marvel Spider-Man, yeah.
Yeah, that is the second time that's come up.
I know, it's very weird.
Yeah,
it's
so-
very weird. We get it. We
Yeah.
get how loading works. If we played video games, I think we all kind of understand this.
Yeah.
What's funny with you is that you often think about it like meta-wise.
Right.
Like you have too deep of an understanding of how loading works.
Yeah, I do. And so often people say to me, "Oh, I hate these," and I go, "It's a loading screen. Don't worry about it."
Yeah.
And I'm just saying. So what I'm saying is like I basically when I'm playing a game, all the time is like I'm thinking about how they made it, and I'm trying to think about how I did it because I very amateurly, like studied game design.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to think about like how I would do it, and it's just a fun thing.
Mm-hmm.
But like no one should have to really think about this in such a half measure.
Yeah.
It's all you need to know is that if Spider-Man is on a subway, that's actually a loading screen, and that time on the subway will be less because they have a SSD instead of an HDD.
It'll be almost instant.
It'll be almost instant. So you won't no more watching Spider-Man on a subway. They're really concerned about you knowing that, and that will come up eventually.
What is
So you just did like a 10-minute jump. I want to illustrate that, and we're now just talking about speeds of the SSD.
Yeah.
But what is Insomniac working on right now? Does anybody know offhand?
I'm not sure. I do know that they do want to do more Spider-Man-like games. I don't know if they are though.
Mm-hmm.
Or if they've secretly been working on Spider-Man 2 for a really long time, and that might be a cool announcement.
That would be cool. That
Because
would be super cool.
it would explain why they constantly talk about the loading speeds.
Yeah.
And if we actually haven't heard anything about what they're currently working on, I have a hunch it could be that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So here we go. So they're talking about. So we're gonna switch. We're gonna go really forward.
Wow.
To get off of the SSD because they never got off of it.
Yeah.
I can hear an ambulance outside, which means coronavirus is taking effect.
Are they coming to get us?
They're coming to get us. That's
Sony! It's Sony!
It's Sony.
Let's go, guys!
They're like, we're getting these Press X guys once for all.
Yeah.
Calling all of our shit trash.
We'll come back, and then like the next time you see Press X to get high, we'll be all like in suits, and we'll be like,
We've been asked not to disclose anything due to coronavirus and Sony.
I'm just like being like tortured, and
make the PS5 drive the Tesla truck. That's how I would sell it.
That's what I'm talking about.
Sell both your truck and your system.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about. So yeah, mask up for our stream today. Is that what you wrote?
Yeah.
So yeah,
Like
so
a
we're
bag over our head.
let's do it. So mask up so we can talk shit about these guys because they're talking. Okay, so we're about to talk about backwards compatibility, and so I'm pretty sure from what I gathered, it was the same kind of stuff as PS4, not actual backwards
The
compatibility.
GPU supports ray tracing, but you don't have to use ray tracing to make your game. The GPU supports primitive shaders, but you can release your first game on PlayStation 5 without making any use of them. Before I get into the capabilities of the GPU, I'd like to make clear 2 points that can be quite confusing.
Great.
First, we have a custom AMD GPU based on their RDNA 2 technology. What does that mean?
BTC-X429?
AMD is continuously improving and revising their tech. For RDNA 2, their goals were, roughly speaking, to reduce power consumption by re-architecting the GPU to put data close to where it's needed, to optimize the GPU for performance, and to add a new, more advanced feature set.
So that is the tech equivalent of saying giving it 110% to get the pucks in the net.
That's exactly what it is.
110% to put the puck in the net.
Yeah.
Is what he said. So basically, they're trying to
But
talk
that
about
feature
what it would
set
be
is
like to
malleable,
optimize a processor.
Which is to say that we have our own needs
Of
for
any kind.
PlayStation, and that
That processes
can
anything.
factor into what
Even
AMD
food processor.
becomes. So collaboration is born.
Eliminate power usage
If
and
we bring concepts to AMD that are felt to be widely useful, then they can be adopted into RDNA 2 and used broadly, including in PC GPUs. If the ideas are sufficiently specific to what we're trying to accomplish, like the GPU cache scrubbers I was talking about, then they end up being just for us. If you see a similar discrete GPU available as a PC card at roughly the same time as we release our console, that means our collaboration with AMD succeeded in producing technology useful in both worlds. It doesn't mean that we as Sony simply incorporated the PC part into our console. This continuous improvement
The
in
reverse
AMD
of what he
technology
said.
means it's dangerous to rely on teraflops
He did that.
as an absolute indicator of performance. And CU count should be avoided as well.
So they don't. So here is here and again here they're very specifically trying to show that the flops they're not the same flops.
Yes, of
Our flops aren't the same flops as Xbox's flops.
Yeah. We have better flops.
We got better flops. Because you know what? You know why they're talking about flops so much? It's much like toilet paper. Why am I relating it now? Why am I relating it? People latched on to one thing they thought
true.
mattered.
Yeah.
This was the new one. This was the new one. Flops was a new thing.
Get all your flops.
So we weren't talking about flops before. Now, like Xbox One and PS4 were the first time. Oh, you just dropped a bunch of shatter, but I found lots of it.
It just exploded in my hands.
That's upsetting. We have a custom string of letters to confuse you. Absolutely, they definitely do that for the layman. Like it. That's the thing about this presentation. Like people who are gonna buy PS5s, like don't care. Like
Right.
they want to know that it loads faster. It's gonna look prettier. It's a decent price, better games, better selection, cool controller. Like all that stuff they care about. I care about this stuff, and I still don't care about this stuff.
I know you don't care. I know. I violently do not care.
Yeah, that's the crazy thing. Okay, this wasn't the live camera cuts. Takes are people are fake. Yeah, that's exactly true. I think it's like a cardboard cutout that they like have a guy moving at the bottom.
I mean, this also might be a video that they just ran because there is actually no crowd participation. Like, there's no questions at the end or anything.
Yeah.
It's not like a real conference. So they just kind of like, but you know, Jack Ryan does come up at the beginning and talk as
Why
if
do you
those
do
people are
this?
there. Ben64 is very mad. He's very mad.
What's
He's
going
riled
on?
up about the PS5. No, I think he lost some shatter, and then his cat said hello.
Just only sucks when you buy the shatter.
Yeah, no, I know. I hear ya.
My cat also has like a tendency to like fuck off for like 4 hours, and now would you like me to stand where the sticky expensive stuff is?
Beautiful.
And just like there was a time earlier where I was like, hey, where are you? Oh no, not Ben.
Oh, this is a fun one. Sorry for
Yep.
Sorry for getting angry.
No, you don't have to be sorry.
Apologize
I wanted to work through your anger with
to
you.
them. I'm not apologizing to you.
You don't have to apologize to me, so I'm okay. I'm okay with that.
For the triangles and other geometry that the vertices form.
Boring.
It's not possible to do even basic optimizations, such as aborting processing of a vertex if all geometry that uses it is off-screen.
This is riveting stuff.
PlayStation 5
Yeah,
has
he's
a
just talking
new
about,
unit called the
like,
geometry
caching stuff,
engine,
like
which brings
making
handling
stuff
of triangles and
disappear
other
before you
primitives under
before
full
you load the
programmatic
next
control.
area. And
As a
it
game
doesn't
developer,
really matter.
you're free to ignore its
The average
existence
person doesn't
and
even know
use
that thing
PlayStation
happens.
5
So,
GPU.
so none of this is going to help us. So basically, this is a really long way to drop the specs that are going to not look as good as
Simple usage could
Xboxes.
be performance
Right? Is this
optimization,
so?
such as
We've
removing backface
just
or
been now
off-screen
razzle
vertices.
dazzled and confused.
Maximum
We've
power
learned, we've been
consumption for the
overwhelmed. Wow,
entire
power
console
consumption?
lifetime
Yep.
might be, which is to say, the worst case scene in the worst case game, and prepare a cooling solution that
This
we
is what
think
I was talking
will be
about
quiet
with the
at that
variable
power
shit.
level. If we
So
get it
like,
right,
remember how
10
PS4
years is
was
minimal.
like those original
If we
ones?
get
Like
it
I have
wrong,
one of those,
the
and it
console
just
will
like
jet
quite
engine.
loud
it
for
sounds like it's gonna explode.
Yeah, every time it's like,
overheat and shut down.
I once
Emit
had a
extreme
little
power
bit
to
of
PlayStation 5 is
chocolate
especially challenging
near
because
my
the
Oh,
PlayStation.
no. Did it melt?
256
Just near
bit
it.
instructions
You know,
that
like, not
can
on the
see
PlayStation
all
or anything. It was
No,
just
the-
like, you know,
those
These are
things
great
radiate.
here and there,
everything was
but
safe.
Yeah.
It was just
presumably
like,
only
it was,
minimally
you know,
used.
it
Yeah.
got microwave.
Yeah.
Or are they? If we
Radiates
plan for
heat.
major 256-bit instructions,
Oh right, I forgot this guy was talking.
use AMD's Smart Shift technology and send any unused power from the CPU to
So again, what we're talking about is taking different processes and giving them to different processors
yeah. So this is
and
like
sorting out
yeah.
where
One thing about the games you're making.
the
please.
power. No, so this is about the console.
Yeah.
And so finding new
on the
dreams.
hardware
Dreams!
This is the part.
New
This has
ways
got to be the
to
part.
expand or deepen gaming, and that's what led us to a focus on 3D.
Actually, I missed all this, so I'm
As players, we
willing to
experience
watch
the
it.
game.
Here we
through the
go. We're
visual,
gonna find new dreams
through
together.
audio, and through
This is
feedback
this is the
we receive from
climax.
the controller, such as rumble or haptics.
Oh.
Personally, I feel a game is just dead without audio. Visuals are, of course, important, but the
Yeah,
impact
this
of
is-
audio is huge as well.
Okay,
At the same
I
time,
see where you're
the audio
going.
team on a game project has to do a lot with
New
a little.
dreams.
For
Audio.
example, on PlayStation 4,
the
there's
fact that a
fierce
game is
competition
dead
for the
without
Jaguar
audio,
CPU
they
cores.
literally found that
Audio
out in
typically
Pong.
ends up getting
Yeah.
just
It's why they added bloops. It's because they put bloops and they're like, oh, Well, that feels way better.
Yeah.
Never looked back.
Yeah. And they're like, hey, God of War 1 for PlayStation 1.
Yeah.
Why didn't you guys use surround sound audio?
Yeah.
Didn't you know that would be more immersive for your
Experience.
Didn't you know that?
Yeah.
We discovered that during our experience as game and console developers. We realized that people wanted to be more immersed.
This year, the games are going to be more fun because we realized the aspect of the games you guys liked the most was the fun part.
Right. We realized that, you know, when you hear something you really want to hear where it's coming from, you know, it's, you know, these things we realized in you know, just through experience.
So we wanted to have someone deliver to you in the slowest,
most lovely little voice.
Yeah. Like, what the fuck?
He's very lovely, this Dana
no,
Carvey
he is.
character.
He totally is. Yeah.
I still like them. I'd take them
Fraction
out
of a
for a night on the town.
That's not much
Is it
of
the
a
glasses?
computational resource, particularly when you
I
consider
kinda-
The hair.
visual 30 or 60 frames a second. But
kinda
audio
like his-
processing needs to happen
like a big-
at
big
almost
hair.
200 times
Big
a
hair.
second.
Like a Rod Stewart, but baby
So,
Rod Stewart.
it's been tough going making forward progress.
He just goes
on
like this
audio
to
on
hide his
PlayStation 4,
hairline.
Particularly when PlayStation
Yeah,
3
that's
was
a
the
That's a Noel Gallagher Oasis. Like,
SPUs and Cell were almost a perfect device for audio
don't know
rendering.
why anyone would
Simple
do that.
pipelined algorithms.
Got more
that really
processors,
take
guys. We're
advantage
learning
of
about
asynchronous
processing.
memory and frequently
We're
reach
learning about it.
100% utilization of the floating point unit. There's
Wow.
unfortunately nothing
Wow, man,
comparable on PlayStation 4. Probably the most dramatic progress in the PlayStation 4 generation has been with virtual reality. The PSVR hardware has its own
Oh
audio
my god, I just want to skip to the
supports
part where he
about
tells
50
the actual thing he's about to tell.
sources. And this provided a hint as to where we could go with audio, as well as some valuable experience. Not to oversimplify, but here were our goals for audio.
Not
Not to oversimplify! What? Get to the point, man! Okay, sorry.
The first goal
Okay.
is great audio for everyone,
Thank you.
not just VR
Thank you.
users or soundbar owners or headphone users. That meant audio
Thank you, I
had to
needed
be a
it.
console. It couldn't be a peripheral. The second goal was to support hundreds of sound sources.
Realizing that
We
I'm
didn't
the
want
one
developers to
spreading
have
his
to pick and
screen.
choose what sounds to get 3D effects and which
Hey,
wouldn't.
Snake, you
We
excited?
wanted every sound in the game to have dimensionality. And finally, we wanted to really take on the challenges of presence and locality. Now, when we say presence, we mean the feeling that you're actually there. You've entered the matrix.
This isn't
It's not, of course, something we thought we could
oversimplifying.
perfectly achieve.
I like
The
that you said
idea was
matrix,
that
though.
if we stopped using just a rain sound and instead used lots of 3D audio sources for raindrops
man
on
is
the
saying
ground
so
and
many
all
words.
sorts of locations around you,
Yeah.
then at some point your brain would take a leap and you'd begin to have this feeling of real presence inside the virtual world of the game. This has the capacity to affect your appreciation of the game, just like music in a game does. The concept of locality is simpler.
Not to oversimplify.
Did you guys feel he was really trying hard to oversimplify that for you guys,
That
right?
was too simple. I wish he would just, it's so simple that
Yeah.
I wish he would just elaborate.
Even a caveman could do it.
I wish he'd just elaborate. Just like the littlest bit. Just a little
Oh,
dab.
baby.
Just a little guy.
So yeah, breathe open. You got it.
And like we don't like he's saying so many words. Yes. Do we need all of these words?
No,
No.
absolutely.
What he's trying to say, and I'm gonna just skip to it. And hopefully there's a graphic that I can have in the back that I can find. Oh God.
Oh, there's graphics there.
Is that the one? Where's the graphic? God, where's the fucking graphic? How long does it take to get to the graphic? What? Oh my God. This is so much. Not to oversimplify, guys. Man, I wanted to wrap this up in 1 hour. What time we got? 45? Okay, we're doing good. Look at this.
Devices. The player might be using headphones or
Oh my God, we're almost there. They might be using headphones. Here we go. This finally is what
virtual
we're talking
sound
about.
has a lot.
Okay.
You've made it.
It took
You've come this far. You've come 48 minutes strong.
This is the new dream.
This is the dream after the first 57 million dreams.
Now I told you at the beginning they had the three. They told you the game plan, the three things.
Yep.
And this was the one that I had all the. I said it was the climax.
Yep.
So this has got all the
stuff.
So I know you guys are riveted, but I had to pause.
Yep.
To tell you about
Take it in.
virtual surround sound
Take it in.
and 3D audio.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna explain it way faster than him. And what it means to you,
Yeah.
the normal stoner, the layman.
Fuck yeah.
And what it means is that in video games, things are already programmed to come out from different sound sources. It's like a 3D world. It's the same way as the 3D model comes from a place. You can take that same variable, that same place,
Yep.
and make a sound come from it.
Oh yeah.
So having surround sound makes it so that you can actually hear all around you. It's very easy for them to program this. And it's like a really cool computational algorithm. And it's very awesome and it's very easy. Unity can do it. And you can have sounds come up so it feels like you're in the world. And the more, if you have stereo, it's pretty good. And if you have surround sound, it's really good. But if you have virtual surround sound, that means you just have a stereo TV.
Yep.
But you stand in a sweet spot and it sounds 3D because of the way that they'd use binaural and different technologies.
Yep.
So it's harder to do computational algorithms to get it to work, and also the speakers you really have to sit in a sweet spot.
Oh, absolutely.
So
yeah.
what they say here is that they have this technology that's available, and that's what they're working on, and this is the finding new dreams. Now here, if I can just tell you, that all sounds really quite nice.
Yes.
But here's the next part that he's going to tell you is that the sweet spot is too small,
In common with 3D audio.
and they're trying to expand it.
It's more complex because the left ear can hear the right speaker and vice versa. We have a
Watch this.
basic implementation of virtual surround sound up and running. We're now looking at increasing the size of that sweet spot, which is to say, making the area you need to be in to feel the 3D effect larger. And we're also working to boost the
New
sense
dreams,
of
guys.
locality. Headphone audio is the current gold standard for 3D audio on PlayStation 5.
Right, because
But we're going
headphones
to
solve
see
all
what
the
we can do
problems.
to bring virtual surround sound to a similar level, after which we'll start
Can't wait
in
till
on
it's ready.
setups with more speakers, such as 6-channel surround sound. It's now to the point where some of the PlayStation 5 games in development are extensively using these systems. One of the game demos allows you to toggle between conventional PlayStation 4 style stereo audio and our new 3D audio. I listened with just an ordinary pair of over-the-ear headphones, and wow, I could feel a difference.
Wow.
Audio has that conventional feel to it. Conventional stereo audio feels smashed flat by comparison. The improvement is obvious.
Exciting. I don't know, I'm into it.
The improvement is obvious because it is obvious, and just so everyone knows, there is really cool things like that all over TVs and Blu-ray players and surround sound systems and stuff.
Absolutely,
like that. There's cool virtual surround stuff, and it's going to be a part of the game. It's going to be amazing. I can't wait for all that to come out. That is actual. This is the climax.
Yeah.
I wish it was explained faster. That is something that's really cool, but it's really not quite like it's not next level though.
No.
This isn't
It's
something that's
like-
like next
Yeah.
level. It's just
like a sideways step, but you're leaning forward.
right. And it seems as if, and if I'm not, I'm not a stockholder or anything,
Yeah.
but I'm just saying, like, if this is the big guns, then like, I don't know, cool.
Yeah.
Like,
All right.
see a holiday 20,
Yeah.
20,
Yeah.
whatever. It's cool. It's great. Whatever. It's fine. 3D audio. the where we were in technology, I thought this technology already existed, to tell you the truth. And I've seen virtual surround sound
Yeah.
as an option
Yeah.
in many video games before, whether that's on
PC's
Steam.
had it for a long time.
So whether that's on Steam or whether even that, I feel like I've even seen it on PS4, and I think
Yeah.
he's just explaining here that PS5 will have a better sweet
They're just,
spot.
I think, just trying to do it better.
Because I think what they're also saying there is another excuse for why the virtual surround sound hasn't been that good. It's like a take a sideways step while leaning forward. He liked that.
Beautiful.
He liked that. I also liked that. I'd write that under Logan's face and just be like,
Yeah.
Logan on
That's exactly
on
what
finding new dreams.
it is. That's exactly what it is. I love words.
See, but this part kind of speaks to what you thought was good about presentations that we like. Because like this is actually kind of fun, like hearing stuff. Maybe
stuff.
Is that fun? I mean, that was the funnest part so far.
Yeah, I mean, I just like it was fine. Sure. Like, I just, I wanted more. This was,
Yeah, so you're not super excited to go
I
get
for
your.
like 3 hours today.
Yeah.
Thought the PlayStation 5 was
Yeah.
getting announced.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, what
And
were
it
you thinking?
wasn't.
Like price? Like
Oh yeah,
yeah,
there'd
like
be a dude
yeah.
standing
Yeah.
on a fucking thing, being
Yeah.
like, "Unveil it." Pshing.
No.
You didn't think it was gonna be like this?
No.
Yeah. You didn't think you'd be learning about HRTFs and what the difference between a default and a Cerny is?
But I thought I would also.
Also get to
just
see.
get, like, a
Right,
thing
right.
on a pedestal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's it.
No, I'm with you.
You
Me
could
too.
put just a fucking controller, and I would have accepted it.
Controller.
As
Me
something,
too.
something new.
Yeah.
Me too. Me too. Me too.
And we're not done with the system. We still got some shit, but this is what our controller's gonna look like.
Mhm.
Yeah. So
It could even look the same as the PS4 controller, and I'd be like, fine. You gave me something.
Fine.
so
It has one new button on the back.
so just to be clear, these graphs that I'm making fun of we're closing in 2 minutes to the end.
Yeah.
So this is the big guns.
He's been going the whole way.
So yeah, here's the let's see what the ending looks like.
And synthesize the HRTF. Maybe
Great.
you'll play an audio game to tune your HRTF. We'll be subtly changing it as you play and home in on the HRTF that gives you the highest score, meaning that it matches you the best. This is a journey we'll all be taking together over the next few years. Ultimately, we're committing to enabling everyone to experience that next level of realism. Hopefully, I've been able to about our design
Take a
and
deep
decision
breath,
making
bro. You've been talking for
and why
52
PlayStation
minutes.
5 has the feature set that it does.
That sigh of relief.
Yeah.
We get to see how the development community takes advantage
did
of
it.
that feature set. I'm hoping for the completely unexpected. Will it come from audio, ray tracing, the capabilities of the SSD, or something else? I guess we'll find out soon enough. Thank you.
We know nothing.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much for tuning in to our presentation, which has been a presentation of a presentation that we didn't really need to see.
Yeah, no, it was kind of funny.
PlayStation 5 is coming out this year.
I am still soaked on it, but yeah.
Oh yes.
Who cares about this shit?
Unwaveringly, you can't break my stride.
Yeah.
Only in the way that these
You're never gonna break me down.
you're gonna break me down. You can throw me a virus. You can throw me a bad presentation.
Yeah.
You can throw a lot at me. I've been thrown at. I've been thrown at a lot. But what will I do? I'll throw up. No, I mean I'll throw down. Whatever it is,
that's
we're
the one.
throwing,
Yeah.
and I still no, but like I know that PlayStation
Yeah.
5 is going to be where all my favorite games are, and
Yeah.
I know where all that's, and I know that I've preferred to buy from them instead of Xbox, and I've had both, and I'm gonna do that. It's not a console fanboy thing; it's just like a preferred machine.
Yeah.
Because I have a different machine for computing, and for gaming, because
Yeah.
I'm filthy casual, bro. I don't fucking care. You know what I mean? Like I'm
Yeah.
I'm a little noob, I am also a tech person, and that was some fucking. No one needed to hear that.
No, not really.
That was not for me, or I don't think,
I think
it was.
you hit it on the head with the investors. 'Cause
I think
it's them just trying to hit their marks, right?
yeah, because I think you're super tech.
Yeah.
And was it for you? 'Cause
No.
you hated it.
I hated it. Yeah. I mean, like, it tells a lot of stuff, but it's stuff that we already knew. Like Ben was saying, like, I heard about this shit. Like, we knew about the specs of the PS5 for like 4 weeks now.
Yeah, every time they're like, the
Yeah.
patent's confirmed.
Like, it's literally just telling us what we knew, and then like a bit of a dive for some people who don't really like get a lot
Understand
of.
what the
Yeah.
things do.
Yeah. And so it wasn't for the super tech guy. So I mean, and you like video games. You buy up pop culture shit. Was
Yeah.
it for you? It was
No,
definitely.
I don't care.
Yeah. So it was not for
Yeah,
you.
it could have been cool had they fucking said
Yes.
what they were gonna talk about.
'Cause
Show us
properly.
the model, the actual model, the
No.
controller.
Yeah.
I'm
a
even
price.
saying had they been like, hey, we're describing some specs from the PS5, I would have been like, okay, that's what you ended up doing.
You didn't like
but
the
they were
road
like,
to the PS5.
Road to
well, yeah,
PS5.
like, it felt like it was a big fucking deal, but it was not.
Yeah. So I don't know. I watched. I also just want to kind of sum it up with what I was watching it
Yeah.
on. So when I watched it earlier, I just kind of clicked the first thing that was on YouTube, and I'm so sorry that I'm gonna miss this shout out because I don't actually remember the name of the YouTube channel I watched it on. I feel so bad because I'm about to like, but to my dude I was watching it on.
Yeah.
So I didn't even know it was a reaction video. He didn't say a word.
Oh, he just like let it play.
He just let it play at full resolution, at full screen, and then at the very end, he started talking.
Yeah.
And so then I was like, oh, I didn't realize I was watching a live stream. The first thing he said was, "Wow, that was a lot of information."
Yes, absolutely.
And then he was like, "I started taking notes,
Yeah.
and then I kind of abandoned it
yeah.
because there was too much info." And I was thinking, if you're taking notes and you abandon it, it's not because there's too much info.
Yeah.
It's because there's actually not enough info.
Yeah.
And you're not retaining anything. You're
Yeah.
just being talked
Like, what are the
at.
takeaways? Yeah.
Or you're deeming
Yeah.
none of the stuff that's being said as valuable for extra
Yeah.
attention.
So he went on to give a raving review of it.
Yeah.
To say that it was a really great presentation because it was full of info. But the fact that he couldn't take notes because I took notes.
Yeah.
I wasn't confused.
Yeah.
I was angry.
Yeah.
But anyways, I can't wait to get together and watch some game trailers eventually.
yeah.
So maybe there's gonna
Maybe when
be,
they actually tell us how much it is and shit too.
yeah, and so I'm also kind of foreseeing maybe this is for stock people and like this is for money people.
It's completely for investors.
I think a lot of people right now are acting out of weird motives and stuff, but all over the world.
Yeah.
So just this wasn't for us. We kind of got sucked into it, so
I
it was
think
fun
so, yeah.
So it was fun to make fun of Dana Carvey though,
Oh,
because
yeah.
we got sucked in.
Yeah.
But hopefully there's gonna be, I think, like some kind of like E3 level like presentation that
I
they'll make
certainly hope so.
that will be online and that'll show the system and like maybe a couple like ideas of or like we can take home of the games that we're gonna see at
Yeah.
launch.
Don't even care. Give me a fucking Sony Direct.
Sony Direct.
Don't care.
Yeah.
That's right. We don't need it doesn't need to be.
Every 3 months, just tell us what's new.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's just
Yeah.
do that because let's just do that and maybe we can take a page from Nintendo's book because they do boring conferences and I always seem to like them.
Well, I mean,
I make fun of them, but maybe I make fun of them even worse than I
Yeah.
made fun of this guy. Right?
I don't know. The PS4 console, when they announced, like, it was pretty widely loved.
like fanfare kind of.
Yeah, like hugely loved. It was at E3, right? And
Yeah.
it was when they did the famous like Xbox had done their bullshit, like, oh, you can't trade your discs and whatever. It's gonna be all digital, all the fucking.
Oh, yeah, and they
insanity,
talked about the
and then
TV.
how expensive it was, and that it was just a VCR.
Yeah. They're like, oh, you can watch your TV through
yeah,
it.
Yeah, all of that shit, and then PlayStation was like, okay, we're like $100 cheaper. You can do all the things you want, and then everyone was like, holy fuck.
Yeah. Yuck.
None of what he
Yeah,
said.
so
Yeah.
this is a far cry from that. I think a lot of people wanted like price and what it looks like.
That's all. That would have made me happy.
Yeah.
At the end of all that, because the tech stuff didn't.
Price,
just forward.
no, price and date. I want
Yeah.
date.
Yeah, day 2. Totally.
Pre-orders.
Yeah.
Let me put all my money down.
Yeah,
Let me pay for it.
Do we still have like a holiday 2020 from them or something? Was that?
That's what it hasn't changed.
It
That's
hasn't
been
changed,
holiday
yeah.
2020. Okay, so now we don't know if it's like a November or December, but it's pretty like around that area.
Late November.
So we'll figure it out soon, and hopefully we can start pre-ordering.
Early November, and you won't be able to get it at all for 3
Yeah.
weeks.
Oh, nobody's going to be able to get it
And
like
then 2
initially,
weeks
yeah.
before Christmas.
It also seems. Okay, I'm just gonna before we sign off.
Yeah, do it.
But it kind of seemed really quick like they were maybe they were like, hey guys, just letting everybody know the PS5 is not gonna get delayed. We're
Yeah.
like almost really close to being done.
Yeah.
And like maybe that's kind of the other messages that they're kind of setting.
I think so.
But also in that way, it was it also is kind of scary when people come out and say things like that.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? When someone comes to me and they go, "Hey man, just so you know, like I paid rent," and I'm like, "Hey, did you pay? Did you pay rent?" Like,
Like I need to ask other questions.
they're like,
now.
"Yeah, I specifically told you that I paid it," and you're like, "Right,
Why?
but it's weird that you said it to me.
Yeah.
You didn't need
Yeah.
to tell me. I
Yeah.
just, you know,
Yeah. I
I
just
want to
assumed.
know if you're good."
Yeah, I just
but-
assumed that you were making the PlayStation 5. And that
Right.
it was all going great.
I assumed that.
Yeah.
So maybe some people didn't assume that, and they felt like they needed to combat that.
They're investors, perhaps?
Right, and they were like, "Well, right, exactly." They want to show that no, we're already done. We're on the tech stages now.
Stocks are going crazy right now, so I can see that shit.
So they're trying to say something. The world is going crazy, and that's okay because we're together and we're all in this together, and we love you so much, and thank you for being our friends, and thank you for being participants in a small community that we're growing on the internet.
Fuck yeah.
And please check out the new music video that just released today from Mur Hip Hop.
Ooh, our buddy.
That is
shit's fire.
our buddy, and I directed and shot and edited it, and we did that all at Bong Mansion last year, and that was really great.
Live. Search it on YouTube and Mur Hip Hop.
Mur Hip Hop, MER Hip Hop, and then
shreds.
Shout out to Adam Tobias, who's here today with us. Adam Tobias. Shout out to Jacques, NPEG, Nerdy Mike. Everybody who came by to watch that boring thing with us together.
You're all beautiful and you make great stuff.
You're all beautiful and you make great stuff. All of these people make great stuff. Look them up all up on Instagrams and Twitches and things. And I mean, maybe we'll do like this normal sign off. Like you say something sane and you say something insane. You're not even high, really. Like I don't even know if you can do it yet. But at least maybe you can say.
It's a learned skill.
I'm done saying my rant. So that's all I'm saying.
You did it.
We're gonna be back later. Exactly.
Yeah, absolutely.
Also, find me and Mia online again at 7. Sorry, I have so many things to plug. At 7 p.m., Monsterface will be live on Instagram. So just follow us there. Monsterface Culture.
Yeah, I mean, you pretty much said everything. It was cool to see some stuff, but I think it left a lot of the fans wanting more.
Nothing for the fans.
Yeah.
Nothing for us fans.
But I love you guys. We will see you at 8.
Bye, guys. See you then.